What's up, guys? This is Fahad, and I know it's been a long time since I first mentioned it, but it's finally time to talk about orientation in Tokyo. We're going to discuss basically everything from the point you head to your consulate or whatever, take off, land, and actually get to your apartment. So, yeah, so let's get right into it. I've kind of made a bunch of memos here, so I'm going to take a look at them and go read everything kind of step by step. So okay, so I'll tell you basically the way it's gonna go is I'll talk about the experience, like I said, from takeoff to landing to your apartment. Basically, I'm gonna talk about how it went through for me, and you'll hear about my kind of perspective, my experience, and at the end I'll actually show you some footage I managed to grab of my orientation and stuff. So you know, this is stuff from way back in July of last year, or yeah, last year. So you'll see like video clips of kind of what the meetings were like, what the whole area is like, and kind of the stuff that I did in my time. So let's get right into it. So first, let's see, I have the fact that we headed to the consulate. Okay, so the first thing we did was, well, first of all, I think most places have like some sort of like initial orientation, like an optional one that y'all go to in June. Actually, I didn't even go to that one because it was like right on my birthday, so I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna go to that. But the next one, what you have to do in July is when you're gonna be leaving, right? So first thing we did was we headed to our consulate area. Now that depends on where you're living. So mine was Houston, so that included people in Texas and I think Oklahoma. So some people had to fly in and stuff like that. I'm from San Antonio, so I just drove up with my family. And we got there the day before because there's an initial orientation, and that's what you go through with your consulate. So you actually get to, we heard some speeches from people that were on the JET program, and that kind of heads of the consulate and everything, basically talking about what your position, like, you know, entails, what the experience is all about, and how great it is to actually have the chance to be there. So it's pretty fancy. Like we went there in a suit, so like you're supposed to go there in like business attire or whatever. They had like a kind of spread laid out for us, like lunch and stuff, which is really nice. But this is the best part about this, at least for me, and for those of you that choose not to go to the first orientation, the optional one, is that you get to finally meet like your other people from your area. So like a bunch of people from the Houston consulate I met them for the first time there. This is a great chance to actually meet people that are on the JET program that won't be in your area, because to be honest, like once you get to Japan, you'll mostly be seeing people from your area and not anybody else. So if you become friends with people here, then you'll have basically friends all over Japan, which is really great. So yeah, so it was a consulate first day. They give you details about what's going on. They give you like essential information, like some ticket information, like an itinerary and everything. They give you all the times for when to be at the airport and all that good stuff. So yeah, that first day is kind of just logistic stuff, right? So you basically experience kind of your consulate and stuff that happens there. Next we had, so the next day, our flight was early in the morning, so we got to the airport at the time they tell you, because you check in as a group and everything. So we got there and we started checking in. As far as baggage goes, it depends on your airline as to how many free bags you get. We flew with United, and United only gave us one. And this goes back to like the question about, you know, people always ask like, oh my god, like what should I pack, what don't I pack, and stuff like that. And I'm a guy I'd rather be safe than sorry, so I actually packed pretty much everything that I expected I would need until winter. And so I took two suitcases, you know, with all kinds of different stuff, all my clothes and everything. Because I mean, you're moving your whole life over, right? So you need all that good stuff. So I just would rather be safe than sorry. So actually, my suitcase is still in there. I use it for like storage now. For like until recently, all my summer clothes were in there. Now all my winter stuff, like my jackets, are in there now because it's all spring. So I took two. It's completely up to you, whatever you feel like you need. Just keep in mind, like if you have people back home, they can send it to you, but I mean, that's your decision. Like I said, I'm a rather be safe than sorry type of guy, so that's what I did. So then you check in, and then you go and you just wait for your flight, and then you get on your flight and you start flying. Ours was a direct flight straight to Tokyo. I'm pretty sure, I think some people had connections depending on where you are, but in the end, you know, you're gonna end up going to the Narita airport in Tokyo. So the whole direct or connections, that depends on your consulate and what route they decide to take. Remember, they are dealing with travel agencies that have laid out everything, so it just depends on your consulate, right? So I think most likely Houston again will just go on a direct flight this year, so that's really nice. 12 hours, but hell, like you don't have to worry about waiting or anything like that, right? So that's pretty good. All right, so while you're on your flight and once you're about 45 minutes out from landing in Tokyo, you get some forms to fill out, like customs forms. This is kind of tricky because no one told us about this, and I don't know why. Maybe they forgot or they just didn't think it was important, but it is pretty damn important. You're going to be filling out information about yourself, your passport number, two things that are very, very important on this form, and for some reason I was never told, was they expect a contact phone number, that's a Japanese contact phone number, and an address in which you're going to stay. So I luckily had some friends' phone numbers that I put in there and my friend's home address from when I went over on vacation the year before, so I just wrote that down. I don't think it really matters because in the end you're going to move and you'll register all your information with the government, but initially like they need that stuff filled out. And one thing that you'll learn really quickly about Japanese society is that they are annoyingly by the book. So even if you don't really need it, but if on their end it's required, you're going to have to do it. So I don't know how you can prepare for this. I would suggest either if you can get your living conditions, like your apartment or whatever's address beforehand from your when you're contacting the people from your placement, I think that would be the best way to do it. As far as a phone number, maybe your school's phone number or the phone number of your what's that word, dude? Of the person that's like in charge of handling your affairs. Everyone gets one at school. I forgot the damn name. Supervisor, that's what they're called. I don't know, I forgot that. So yeah, so their supervisor, get their phone number or whatever, just so you can put it on the forms, because that's really important, because that will be required of you. Otherwise it will create like kind of a fuss, I think, when you actually get to the customs area. But yeah, so you do all that, and so that happens, then you land. When you land, the first thing you're going to do is go through the customs area and you give those forms up. There'll be jet people, I believe, guiding you on where to go. And plus you'll be in a giant group anyway, so you'll be going with your group. This is actually where you get to print, well, they give you your ID card, the Zairyo card. You'll hold on to that, and that's going to be your national ID. So you're going to want to, just like your driver's license back home, or whatever, you hold on to that wherever you go, and it's very, very important. Actually, before you would get that like weeks later, and people have to carry their passports around everywhere, so it's really, really nice to get it right then and there. Yeah, so that'll happen, which is great. Then you get your baggage and everything, and you there's a bunch of people wearing jet shirts or something last time I went, and they kind of guide you on where to go. As far as what happens then, you actually have to ship your baggage to your placement. Now you get to keep your carry-on bag, so definitely, I should have said this in the beginning, but pack your essentials that you will need for Tokyo orientation in your carry-on bag. So that means your suits, your shaving supplies, whatever. I don't think you can take shaving supplies on a carry-on, but stuff like that, stuff that you need for 3 days, you know what I mean? So casual clothes as well as your suit and stuff, because you will be suited up for the orientation in Tokyo, so make sure you have all that stuff. Yeah, so okay, so we got that done, and then they basically ship. So I had 2 suitcases, so both of them were shipped straight to my apartment, and they were waiting for me when I got there. And you won't have to foot the bill until like another month later, so don't even worry about that, which is really, really convenient, because that's the last thing you want to worry about, right? So you have to, and it's really cheap. I think it's like 2,000 yen per suitcase or something, 2,500 yen, which if we kind of round down for US dollars would be, and I'm completely rounding here because value is pretty weak right now for the yen, but like if you say 100 yen for $1, it's like 25 bucks per suitcase, mad cheap to send 50-pound stuff all the way to your house, which is great. So carry on essentials for the weekend, keep that in mind. Yeah, so then you take your stuff and you get on a bus to go to the KO Plaza Hotel, which is the hotel you're gonna be staying at, and it's a crazy nice hotel. Like, it's really, really nice. The ride, I think, is about an hour and a half or so. So yeah, that happens. You get there, you're still, it's really exciting, because then, I mean, you're in Japan finally, right? So you get to see like around everywhere. There's a bunch of Japanese people everywhere. For those of you who speak Japanese, it's a really cool opportunity. For the first, I know for me it was awesome, because I was like, yo, like living in San Antonio, you just do not hear anything like this, and just be surrounded by it is pretty awesome. You get to see the views. At that time, summer, it's really green, I think, from what I can remember, when you're driving from Narita to when you're riding from Narita to the airport or to the hotel. So that happens, right? So that's really cool. Then you check into your hotel, and your first evening, by the time you get there, it's pretty much evening time, around 6 p.m. for us, because our flight landed earlier in the day. So your evening is free. That means you can go exploring with your friends that you made from the consulate. If you have friends in Japan, you can meet them up. Whatever the hell you want to do, you can do. It's really, really nice to finally go out. I mean, if it's your first time there, just walk outside of the hotel to like a convenience store, or just walk around the street. Like, it's really, really cool, like, just to experience everything. So enjoy that free night, because for the next day, your orientation starts, and it's pretty early in the morning. They do give you breakfast and lunch complimentary, which is great. So first day of orientation, it's a bunch of speeches from people, important people. It's panels from, this is my experience, right? I don't know if it's going to change or not, but it's a bunch of panels and stuff for people that are on the JET program now, right? So it could be anybody that's on the program now, which is great. You get to hear experiences. I mean, we had some funny people, so it was actually nice when we did it. So you'll have all that. Then you'll have some workshops, which I think were really, really helpful, because they really taught us kind of just like, it kind of introduced you to what you would be doing, right? Until now, you're just like, oh my God, I'm going to be living in Japan, but now they'll finally introduce you to what you're going to be doing, right? Which is really helpful, and kind of introduces you to the idea of the nature of the work. So it's pretty helpful, I thought. Evenings, again, you're free to do as you please. I went out to dinner with some friends that I made for my consulate, and it was pretty nice. I got to go to like a conveyor belt sushi, like kaiten sushi place, which is really awesome. Really delicious too. So, like I said, the evening is yours, right? The next day is more orientation stuff. So workshops continue. You sit through lectures and stuff like that. It's really, really helpful, I think. But then what's next right here? Oh yeah, so you finally get to meet the people from your area. Now, until now, like by chance, you can meet some people, right? But there's like 1,000 people there. So, but this organized time right here, you finally get to meet people that are located in your city, your prefecture, or whatever. So like for me, I'm in Kyoto. So in Kyoto, it's really confusing, right? So they have 2 divisions. They've got at least in my city, right? I'm talking about my city. So in Kyoto City, they have 2 main divisions. They've got Kyoto City Jets and then Kyoto Prefectural Jets. So they're completely divided. Then in the Prefectural Jets, it further branches out into municipal, or again, I don't know why again, but it's called Prefectural, and I fall into that Prefectural category. So you get to find out all this stuff, like details and stuff like that. So it's pretty exciting. You get to meet your prefectural advisors, which are the guys that work in like the office and kind of help you with your day-to-day, not your day-to-day, your like jet stuff. Luckily I had a bunch of nice people, so it was awesome. It just depends, right? So that happens. Then you get a dinner, which is a really, really nice dinner. Like, it has drinks, like it's like a buffet, open bar and everything. It's really, really nice, and the food is really, really good. And this dinner is, you're tabled up with other people from your placement, so it's kind of like a formal meet the people that you not will be working with, but that will be in your area. And you can still see like my carry-on right there. Actually, that's from when I just went to America, so I just went a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, so that happens. It's pretty nice. The next day, so orientation is 2 days, right? 2 days of that, but then after that, you finally, the next day you check out of the hotel and you're going to your placement. Now your placement, the way you get there, it just depends. You could be on a bullet train, you could be on an airplane, you could be on whatever. So you're gonna go, it's all paid for, you don't have to worry about that, but you kind of go as your group to your mode of transportation, and yeah. Keep in mind, guys, that it is summer in Japan, midsummer, and it's freaking hot, right? So, and I am the type of guy that sweats like a maniac, so this part was hell for me. Because I was going on a bullet train straight to my, like everybody is, straight to your placement, the next step is, before you even get to do anything, you meet the people that you're going to be working with at your placement. So I had to meet my supervisor or whatever right at the train station, and so you have to be presentable, right? But it's like 100 degrees, like really, really humid. And Kyoto's especially humid, man, because it's right in the middle of like a bunch of mountains. So it's really hellish. So the last day, how you want to dress really depends on you. I did not wear my suit jacket. I don't want to show you guys my closet. I did not want to wear my suit jacket because, you know, I was going to be extremely sweaty. So I packed my jacket and my tie, and I just wore my dress shirt. Some people even didn't wear their dress shirts, which in hindsight I should have done, because it's so hot. But then you got to go to the bathroom on the train and change. So it depends on what you want to do. So I just put my jacket up, and I kept my jacket and my tie up, and I just kept my shirt on. And then as we arrived, just put everything on. You meet them, you know, you say your highs, hellos. Some people okay, so it really depends, right? So since Kyoto's pretty big, we had people that were in the countryside areas and people that were in the city, like the main city, right? So people that were in the countryside, they had people greeting them with like signs saying, "Welcome, so-and-so," and it was like, "Oh, dude, that's so cool." So I first saw that, I was like, "Yo, is that what mine's gonna be like?" And my people were like, just two ladies. One was a supervisor and one was like an office person, and they were just standing in the corner, and they were just like, "Are you Fahad?" And I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, I'm Fahad." And like, "Hey, nice to meet you." And I was like, "All right." So there's no flashy whatever, but it's whatever. They're super awesome. So yeah, they drove me, because since I was in the city, that was it for me, because we went by bullet train straight to Kyoto City. Other people had to take cars 2 hours out, as far as 2 hours out to like the northern part of the prefecture, but I was there, right? And so before you even get to go to your apartment, guys, and the reason I mentioned back then you had to wear a suit was because you don't go to your apartment, you go straight to your base school to meet the principal and sign apartment contracts. So you're right into business. So like keep that in mind, and remember that as you're doing everything. So before you can relax, you got to do all that stuff, and it's really casual. It's like a 2-minute conversation just with the principal saying hello, and you're excited to be, you know, working there and all that good stuff. If you can't speak Japanese, if that's what your supervisor's for, they'll kind of explain what you're saying to the principal and what they're saying, the principal's saying to you. But then finally, I had to sign apartment paper, like contracts and stuff. You have to, okay, so I completely forgot to mention this. I don't know what your situation is going to be, but convert your money. I don't want to say as soon as you can, because things like Travelex and stuff they cost you more. So I had to pay my last payment, I think. Yeah, I had to pay my remainder of the month payment and then my last payment due at signing. So it depends on your situation, but have money ready, because I didn't convert my money in Tokyo because I was just like, yo, they're gonna rip me off, you know, all that good stuff, not good stuff, bad stuff. So they're gonna rip me off. So I was like, when I get to Kyoto, I'll do it there at banks are, in my opinion, in my experience, the best way to go, because you get the best rates and bang for your buck. That ended up being like kind of an inconvenience for the people that I was with. So to be on the safe side, maybe do however much you need to at Tokyo at first. The thing is, I wouldn't convert all of it at once, especially like a Travelex, because you're gonna be losing out on like up to quite a bit of money. It can end up being, right? So how much you bring. That's another question. That's another point. A lot of people talk about, oh my god, how much should I bring? I brought $2,000 cash, and it lasted me until my first paycheck. And yeah, that depends on me, right? I had a full month's rent to pay, so that took like $600, like right out of my pocket. I had to buy a phone, and so I had you have a bunch of initial expenses for most. Well, it depends on your situation, but that's me, right? So I would say, just to be safe, at least $2,000. Bring at least $2,000. You could probably get by with less, but I mean, like I said, I'm one of those people that likes to be on the safe side. So my recommendation is to bring at least $2,000. If you can bring more, great. If not, man, just budget, because last thing you want to do is be screwed, right? You don't want to ask them for money or anything. I don't even know if that's possible. So yeah. You meet the principal, you pay for your apartment or whatever, sign the contracts, then they finally take you to your apartment. That's where your suitcases will be. You'll finally get to just go in and relax, and you know, that's it. You're finally there. You're in your place. You've met your people from school. You're in Japan, and your life begins. So that's pretty much the whole process from the beginning, from when you're still in America to the point of when you're at your place of stay. I really hope this video answered questions for you guys. I know it's crazy long already. Damn, it's already 20 minutes. But I hope it really helped you guys out. If you have any more questions, please leave them in the comments or email me. And I'd be more than happy to let you guys know what's up. Yeah, and so now check out some of this footage that from my experience at Tokyo Orientation. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and until next time, I'll see y'all later.